Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Enthusiast Roundtable. We are episode, I think, 6, if not edit here in post-production. But today, we've got a really important news. We're going to be announcing a merger here at Enthusiast Roundtable ERT. I'm proud to announce a strategic merger between myself and Analog Thrills.
Huh?
And I will be retaining a majority stake in all of his Instagram and taking all his followers.
Wait, what do I get?
You get to keep your IP, which is very important. And no, I'm just kidding.
Doesn't pay my bills though.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, let's welcome.
You get all my debt.
Oh, there you go. Let's welcome Cliff. Hey, Cliff, thank you so much for coming onto the show. We're doing kind of a one-on-one. Mm-hmm. I think that it would be fun to kind of call this when I do a one-on-one again, like we call it like the single rider line.
Single rider episode.
Single rider line, or maybe the Zen ride, but no, it's not a Zen ride because it's both of us.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how you, I don't know. I've seen some people define Zen rides as being like, well, it was like me and my buddy still. So.
Yeah, it was me and the ride up.
Yeah.
That's got to be a credit. Is there a credit where you ride with the ride up?
I've done it before. There's some parks where the ride ups will just like if they've had a long day. I did it at a CoasterCon.
Yeah, the
ride ups would hop on the empty seats with us on Lightning Rod. And I got to ride it with like this like foreign exchange worker. And it was really funny. And she was like, I love this ride so much.
Right. And
it's like, it's Lightning Rod.
How could you not like it? It's a good ride.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can not like it if it's got a high-speed lift chain. But we'll get into that later. No, but first I want to also acknowledge, thank you so much. So if the lighting looks a little bit better or a lot better this episode, it's thanks to this guy right here. We just spent about, an hour,
and I had the grand idea because I had some lights left over in my car that needed some repair, but still work.
No, it looks great.
So yeah, we put a little extra love into the lights today.
A little extra love into the Enthusiast Roundtable today. But again, physically here, so much appreciate you coming up and joining me on the show today. We'll do it. Calling single rider. So it's just not me. I think the Zen ride will be when it's just me.
Talking to yourself?
Yeah, like just doing updates or something like that. I'm like, hi, everybody. Welcome to an empty round table. But no, I really appreciate you taking the time to drive up. And you are local to Southern California, so it's actually not that far of a drive, all things considered. But
it's a trip to Magic Mountain.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fun fact for those who may be following the channel from the old channel will probably remember Cliff. He was on episode 1 of Enthusiast Roundtable way back in the day on that other channel that we don't mention anymore.
How many decades ago was that?
That was like right as the pandemic was starting too. That was like,
that's like a whole 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, might as well be, right? God, was it 2020 maybe?
Yeah, 2020. I do remember it being right at the head of the shutdown.
Yeah,
and then it was like, well, we got nothing to do, so let's make a podcast.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was fun. So OG, and it's like the first time you've been back on the show, so I appreciate you. You have bounced around to a couple different shows. I know you've been on Drew from Parks Bros shows before. Was it Loopy Dudes or just?
I did a Loopy Dudes episode with them before, and I tend to kind of pop in occasionally on his channel to do little bits, and I'm on Listmas a lot.
Oh, right.
I've been on mostly Coaster's channel doing like games and whatnot too, and then those are the two channels I tend to frequent, at least on YouTube.
Right.
I've appeared in a lot of other YouTubers' videos. I've been on a couple of Coaster Studios videos, and
I think that there's the famous one from Six Flags Over Georgia.
Six Flags Over Georgia, baby.
Right. Go check that one. That was actually pretty fun. But no, just the saying that people recognize you, people know who you are. I think also people know you mostly from Instagram. Would you agree with that? Or?
That's primarily where I'm active at is Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't have like a YouTube channel or a TikTok or anything like that.
Yeah.
I keep it simple.
Yeah. You keep it analog.
Yeah.
Analog. Explain how you got your channel started.
Oh my gosh. I've always been a really big fan of shooting on 35 millimeter film and medium format 120 film. And when I was attending college, I was a film production major, and I was required to take a lot of photography classes that were very involved with like the dark room and photochemical photographic film process. And when I was really kind of diving into that world and really getting into like gallery fine art, I would kind of take my camera out just to practice with the medium every now and then, try to like experiment with new techniques. And I'd go to Six Flags Magic Mountain, which was like now newly right next door to me, because I for a long time lived so far away from it, and was where I'd go when I was just bored and kind of regenerating my interest into the hobby. And I would just be taking pictures of these monolithic things. They're so much easier to photograph than people, and trying all these things out. And before you know it, I had this like stockpile of coaster images, and I would kind of like play with them and experiment with them and try all kinds of wacky doodle things with them. And then sometimes I just kind of keep them intact and like show them to people. And I posted some up on my Instagram profile, and someone that I met in person who was an enthusiast one time at Knott's Berry Farm, probably one of the first enthusiasts I ever really met in person, saw some of my photos, and he's like, you should start an Instagram. You should try it out. Your photos are Instagram worthy in so many words, right? And I was like, I don't think I want to do that. But then some time went by, and I just kind of let it kind of run in my head a little bit, and I tried it out, and then before I knew it, it was just a lot of people seemed to really enjoy what I was doing, and I've kind of stuck to it ever since. You know?
Yeah, I think that if I mean, I could be wrong, but I think you're like one of the very first people that I noticed focusing more on like the, analog side of photography and like digitizing it after the fact and putting it up. And there's something, obviously I'm preaching to the choir here, but I do think there's something that's so interesting about seeing that type of photograph. I think it's just much more alive. It may not be as vivid. I mean, it can be, obviously, if you shoot in a bigger format, but it's just something that just is there's so much personality in that, you know what I mean? Because it has to deal with, developing and, timing and all that stuff.
It's such a big thing. As I was, kind of continuing my journey with like photography, is like, I just loved like understanding all like the quirks and like idiosyncrasies that come with every stock of film, or like what kind of chemicals I would use to develop the film, or like the ways to print and stuff like that, or cross processing and all these other, like, you just throwing mold on the print or whatever, like just doing all kinds of wacky stuff, like
dodging and burning.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. Yeah. But yeah, like just like I got so into it, like I kind of loved sort of like meeting these new profiles of looks that film has to offer, and there's so many, like there's been such like a big resurgence in film in the past decade, and there's so many like boutique developers out there that have all kinds of wacky looking effects and color shifts.
Like some guys like, I just live on a lake but in a van, and I use a glass plated camera from the 1800s.
Those are great, man. If I could make one of those and bring those, somehow sneak one of those into the park.
Can you imagine being in the park like, all right, hold still. But yeah, the funny, I don't know if I ever told you this. So when I was in school, I was required to take a black and white photography class for my film, production. Okay. And that's the only class that I got a B in.
Whoa, you're a bad kid.
I know.
B.
Rebel.
Man.
No, but
Did you start shooting digital in that class? Is that why you got to be?
No, it was analog. It was black and white photography, but it was it's just so interpretive. I just was not very good at developing. I was terrible at developing, and I couldn't figure it out. So I applaud you for figuring out the developing process.
I used to do this thing in my class where like we'd go into like the dark room, because you have to roll your film onto like a reel and put it in a little can
in a canister,
and we started like
do a timer.
We'd have like a race every now and then just for fun, and like I actually started getting really fast at it. I was like, this is like weird sense of like accomplishment of being like, I can like really quickly, and it was like solving a Rubik's Cube in the dark kind of thing.
Yeah. Using a can opener to open up the roll of film and all that.
Oh my gosh, I just use my nails at this point.
Nah, it's cool, but it's absolutely a skill, and I think you're excelling at it. And that's what drew me to your channel. Obviously, we have the same friend circle in the enthusiast community.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Parks Bros and stuff like that. I think that's when I officially. I think it's when I met you in person.
Yeah.
But I was aware of your account, which is kind of fun, because it was like, Oh, wow. I didn't realize. Maybe I didn't realize you were local. I guess I wasn't that big of a stalker.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. But no, it's fun. And I think some of my most favorite theme park memories, you were there. Like that one time, what was that? 2019 maybe, when we were all at Magic Mountain and like so many people were there, and like we took over Canyon Blaster.
Oh yeah, that was
So fun.
Somebody was visiting. That was
I think it might have been Taylor Bybee.
maybe, or is it Sean?
No. It was
Theme
it was
Park
Sean
Worldwide?
from Theme Park Worldwide.
Yeah, man, the coveted year of 2019. That was such a exciting year of like just for me, like growth in the community, because that is kind of when I started meeting a lot more local content creators and artists, and or just general enthusiasts, and that was such a cool time. Like I think one of my favorite times from that year was the West Coast Racers opening, the pass holder preview, and like every Instagram influencer and artist and creator and like every enthusiast in this like region just like came out, and like, wow, it was crazy seeing everyone in person like that.
It was because it was such a long build process.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they went back and forth with it so often with oh shoot, we have to shut down here. Oh, it's taking forever to get something shipped, and I really, because like we'd see each other out there filming and getting updates, and it was cool. I agree. I think that was definitely a fun year.
I get a lot of fond memories from that. When I say growth in the community, I don't mean like numbers and like data coming up. Like I mean like personal, like
relationships,
attachment.
Yes.
Yeah. Thought I'd clarify that.
No, that's a good clarification. I mean, people who are fans of the channel know that for me is. I think I'm at a whopping 105 subscribers right now, so I know.
I remember I used to, I was at like 300 for the longest time. I'm still at like 2000, and I'm like, that's fine.
Right.
I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Right.
With that.
But to me, the relationships that, and that's why this is the Enthusiast Roundtable. It's to bring you guys in and talk to you guys, because I'm such a fan, and you say that, that was such a pivotal year. I feel, let me know if you agree or disagree, it's fine, that we're coming up on another pivotal year here. I mean, 2023 was big, but I think that 2024 is going to be massive in the industry. What do you think?
Oh, we're literally going into like a brand new era.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know what you're referencing. This week was like, it's so crazy. This merger, which I'm sure we're segueing into here,
sure.
is like,
I mean that, and something else.
Yeah, that like, wow. My first thought was like, I remember the Coaster Wars. I grew up with the Coaster Wars, and it was like Six Flags versus Cedar Fair.
Right.
And they're just duking it out, and they're still the biggest coasters ever. And like, now it's like, I mean, the Coaster Wars have been kind of like trickling out since then, but like, it's kind of funny, like, growing up with that and being kind of attached to that era, and then like, wow, that ended with like the two biggest rivals just becoming friends and like merging together, and now they're just a big super corporation. Like, wow, I didn't expect that. But
it'd be like if Microsoft and like Apple decided to just start making products together.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah,
it's up there. It's, gosh. Whoa.
Ford and Chevy would like to announce the strategic merger.
The Fevy.
The Fevy.
The Fevy Blazer.
The Blaze Stone. Or the Blustang. The Blustang.
That's so good.
Which will probably be a new ride coming here soon, the Blustang. But no, it really, I was peeking there for just a second. I'll have to edit that out. Sorry, everybody's ears, just barely. But, not only with that merger, it's going to be all over the place, and it already is all over the place. Like, for example, my younger brother just texted me. My younger brother's he works in like education.
Okay.
he just texted me like, whoa, this merger is crazy. It's like, it's funny. But, I think not only with the merger news, but like there seems like there's a lot of cool new rides that are kind of on the horizon. And locally we've got this Fast and the Furious coaster, whatever it ends up being called, Hollywood Drift or whatever. But we've got footers going in now, and
there's so much earth moved over there. It's to the point where like, it's because I drive by that park every day. Like the construction is like so apparent now, and that's like the one like world-class attraction that we've been like dying to have over here in this region for like a really long time.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it really does feel like the like just trying to like encapsulate all of the subject of like the merger and like all the new exciting things. Like I really do feel like we're kind of like sitting like it, not literally, but like we're kind of like hitting like a restart button on a lot of things.
Yeah,
because like,
that's a good point.
Like this whole like merger thing also like opens up like now like Six Flags might work with Gerstlauer again potentially.
Right.
Like B&M's been like kind of coming into the fray. Intamin's working with Six Flags again. Like, I mean, the shape of like the regional competition is like now like turning into like regional parks having to like focus on like, especially in our region, like competing now with like Universal, when before it was like things were just like, oh, we're focusing on just like, especially these regional parks, like just trying to build their identity and their brand in a region. Now it's like, oh, now we can like actually potentially see how we can draw a worldwide audience to these destination, where these regional parks are living in destination park areas. If that makes sense.
I really do. I'm excited for 2024 and 2025. Like, it's just like I think I like the line that you used. It's kind of like a reimagining or a reset. It's like, I mean, we're going to restart over with, B&M is kind of like resetting itself sort of. 'Cause it's like, they've just kind of been the same old for years. And now they're like, oh, look, they're doing new stuff, which is cool.
Yeah. They're rising to the call of like the market demand being in like family entertainment, which it's kind of funny to see now. There's like 2 B&M prototypes going to Florida, and they're both family coasters. And,
and that B&M family wing coaster in like Legoland, Germany,
or was it Jumanji?
No, that one's too, but no, the Lego one in Germany.
Yeah. That's
like
right.
the teeny tiny one. I think it's like 30 feet
so
tall or
cute,
something.
and it has 2 inversions.
Yeah, it's insane. But I love that. I love that they're and then Intamin obviously is bouncing back strong. I mean, that's been a few years in the making, but I don't know. Do you think RMC's really kind of like opened everybody's eyes, or like, because do you think that the industry was kind of stale for a little bit, and then here comes RMC going, oh yeah, check this out.
I mean, I would agree that I think that the design language of RMCs is sort of kind of given people, it's opened up the realm of ideas a little bit more.
Yeah.
I would agree that like at least what they've done is pivotal to something. I mean, they're such like a very specific business model.
Yeah,
that's like kind of in its own little world a bit, but they've grown to like now they can build ground up attractions, and now they're trying to kind of hop onto like the family coaster trend too. So they've definitely like dug their nails into like the soil, and they're here.
I really feel. I just feel like they did shake things up, because they're like, oh look, we could do this thing called a 0G stall, and then it's Intamin's like, oh well, shoot, let's try that.
Yeah, and then like it wasn't until we started seeing like weird things like Outer Bank rolls, which was so like unthought of. Well, I mean, I guess S&S tried it a little bit too, but that was
still Alan Schilke.
That's still Schilke, yeah. So, yeah. So like, really, I guess you could credit Schilke with just kind of like shaking up what's possible.
Yeah. And Fred Grubb giving him the opportunity,
giving him the space to do it. Yeah. But like Schilke kind of comes from that background. I mean, the dude literally X, and I mean, there's something else he did before that, I think. Well, I guess you could say Roadrunner Express.
Tennessee Tornado, kind of changing.
Did it?
Ooh,
I don't know.
Get in the comments and roast me if I'm wrong.
I don't think he did.
He didn't have a hand on that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I just wrote it the other month. It feels like anything he'd do, but
I don't know.
Maybe he did. I don't know. There's a good chance he did. I'm just not remembering right now.
Get in the comments.
Yeah.
But, and I think that, what was I going to say? With that Outer Bank term thing that you're saying, I mean, look at Hyperia.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yeah, Mark.
Right?
I'm here for it.
Like, we all saw the the announcement and all stuff. It looked really cool. Like, oh, okay, that looks pretty cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until it started going vertical, and it's like, you start going like
what is it? Where do you go in, and where does it come out?
Exactly. Like, I had to go back and watch the POV to go, wait, how's that
going to feel? Like it's the way the Outer Banks like curve section is like, it's like nearly over banking.
Yeah.
The Outer Bank.
It's gonna be like sideways hang time.
It's so and
Or-
like
yeah,
your
strange.
field of vision is gonna be so wacky because you're not gonna see anything
Yeah.
below you. Like you're just gonna be, oh wow, it looks like it's gonna drag you like a rag doll. It looks cool.
It does look cool.
One of like the prettiest pictures I've seen too was somebody that was photographing that under construction roll from like a lake, and you just see this like
Oh yeah.
wacky piece of twisted metal just kind of like raising the sky, and there's like a gap because they haven't finished it yet. So yeah, I can't remember who.
I'm for it. I mean, like even when Two Tatis and Pantheon came out, and it just showed Intimate going, okay, we see you, RMC.
Yeah, we can do that.
We'll do that too, and it
Yeah.
just looks so cool,
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I love Intimate so much.
Yeah, so
They
do I.
they don't care.
They take risks, and I love it. I love it. I think I would be hard to be a shareholder in their company. 'Cause you'd be
Yeah.
like, "Ugh," but
I love them
them.
because sometimes they'll just see somebody do something and they were like, oh, well, we'll do it. We'll, crazy Germans, we'll do it better and faster and harder. And then they build the Zach spin, and then everyone. They're like, well, we did it. Like, you asked
you
them.
said we couldn't do it, and we did it. We didn't say you'd like it. We just said we'd do it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I love about them. They're like, you can ask for anything from them. They're just
Yeah.
be like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
sure, let's do it. I love them.
For sure. So, I guess that being said, what ride are you looking forward to the most, whether you'd be able to ride it in the immediate opening or not? Like, is there one that you've been kind of like, is like your favorite or anything like that?
Like, does the criteria have to be like a new for 2024, 25, or can it be something that's already built? Or?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'd say some sort of new ride that's got you excited. I mean, how about this too? Let's say a bucket list coaster that's already existed. It could have been built in the 90s. I don't know. Or
I have
one.
I have answers for both.
Let's go for it.
Bucket list that I've still have not been able to ride, and I've been to the park already. Sky Rush.
Oh, yeah.
I have not been on it, and I'm terrified of it.
Oh, you are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so like one of my biggest fears is like I hate being in like seats that are so open. Like I do not like Lex Luthor for that. And Sky
Well,
Rush
that's a
is
good point.
literally those restraints
Yeah, someone told me that the Lex Luthor restraints are the exact same
are the
restraints.
exact same restraints, and there's no like side padding on Sky Rush. And I've seen photos of like people on the ride, they get like folded in half on certain turns, and like everyone I know who's been on it, it's like it's crazy. It's like it's unbelievably intense,
Yeah.
and it's like I've heard a lot of people who are very seasoned enthusiasts say this was one of the few coasters that genuinely made them feel like they were not going to survive this cycle.
Wow. See, I haven't been to Hershey Park since I was a little kid, so
Yeah.
obviously that wasn't there at the time. So
Okay.
I'm with you. Let's go together.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to go again. I still need to do Wildcats Revenge. I was supposed to do it this year, but something happened on my trip plans. To follow back up on the other upcoming, it's a whole story.
I remember it. I think I remember
thing.
it.
It's a whole thing. Don't put your wallet in the loose articles bins at roller coasters. Don't be like me. It's a bad idea. Yeah, but to follow up your other question though about upcoming, oh my gosh, Starfall Racers.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
People are kind of like sort of forgetting that.
Oh, don't forget.
I know. I mean,
just
they'll look at it and go, "Oh, that looks great," but then no one's talking about it.
I just stood right next to it like last
Oh, you
week.
did?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm like I can't wait.
Again with a mock.
Yeah.
Mock's out for Intimate blood.
Yeah. That whole park, like, oh my god, dude.
I know.
Like standing next to it and just being around it, like it's like I unbelievable. I can't believe that's happening in my lifetime. Like it's going to be the most technologically advanced park in the world when it opens up, more than likely. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to have some incredible attractions and like super immersive theming, and like it's 2023 IOA, and I love IOA even now. So
Yeah.
I'm so ready. And Starfall is just going to
Yeah, Starfall does look really. It looks really good. I mean, once we start seeing that testing to see how good the dueling element is.
Yeah. I hope. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're going to get it right.
Yeah.
They have to. It's universal.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Premiere can get West Coast Racers timing down,
Yeah.
I'm not knocking Premiere. I think the engineering behind West Coast Racers,
Fascinating.
it's you just have to watch, and it's a really easy coaster to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I just watched it go, how on earth do they get that timing so perfect? It's so good.
Yeah. And it's all the design.
Yeah. So Mach will definitely knock it out. But I mean, obviously the elements on Starfall Racers is way pushed to West Coast. So no, that does look good. And I'm also, speaking of Epic Universe, I really am curious about this Floo powder ride that's going to be in the Harry Potter land. Their big attraction there.
Remind me of that. You know what's so crazy? I've been following that construction so much. What is going into Harry Potter? I know it's Ministry of Magic. I know it's.
Let me tell you.
I know it's you teleport in, and there's like a whole like. At least the permits have been showing it's like a big hall that's going to have potentially some like mirroring things going on.
Something. So, obviously the land is going to be Wizarding Paris from the Magical Creatures films, or at least shown in the Magical Creatures films. Oops, I was just about to adjust my camera while I was live. That's crazy. I thought, no. But it's you're in Wizarding France, and then you go into the Floo network, which is the chimneys.
That Floo network, that's right.
Right, yeah. And you throw the Floo powder down, and somehow they're going to transport you to the Ministry of Magic London.
Okay.
So it's going to take you back to London.
Yeah.
And the ride, apparently, I could be wrong. Theme park stop. Alicia, let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah. By the way, Alicia, if you're watching, hi.
Hi.
We watch you all the time.
We love you. But I think
I want to meet Reconstruct so bad.
I know, right?
Every time I see a helicopter flying over, well, I mean, there's so many helicopters flying over iDrive, but whenever I see it, I'm always like, that's him. That's him. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's good. I think it's going to have something to do with the elevators. Like, I think that you're going to get into the elevators of the Ministry of Magic, and it's going to be like the Y, basically X, Y, Z axis.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
something. I it's just that there's no details about it.
Yeah.
And obviously they really have knocked out Forbidden Journey with the Kuka arm.
Attraction, which from what I understand, that's
going to be
monsters.
The monster, the Frankenstein Monsters Unleashed or something like that, which would be great.
Yeah.
Which would be great. But I think that they're even trying to push the technology even more with this Ministry of Magic ride. So I mean, I'm excited. Even like the Donkey Kong coaster.
So wacky. I love it.
Yeah, it's wacky. I hope it's good. I mean, I saw some of that testing from the facility out there in Utah.
Yeah.
It looked slow. I'm just worried it might be slow.
I can't imagine that style or that design being too fast.
Yeah.
I feel like out of all the coasters that are being built at Epic Universe, that's the only one where I'm like, I'm not expecting a coaster so much. It is a coaster, but I'm expecting more of the show elements to it. And just the sense of speed that you will get from it, and like the whole like jumping the track effects and whatnot. Like I'm looking more forward to that as opposed to like, speed or G-force.
Yeah, I think the immersiveness of what it is will be fun. I hope that the gag works. I really do. When you're on ride, I mean, I think that the gag. Hope it works. That you're skimming across water, jumping gaps, and stuff like that. I hope it looks good. But no, it's going to be really, really cool. I think the classic Monsters world is such a good idea, and I don't know why it took them so long to do that.
We make fun of the name so much.
Yeah, it's a funny name, but
Dark Ward. I love it. I also kind of have a bit of a attachment to Monsters this year because the maze over in Orlando was my favorite maze, and it was the first maze my partner ever worked. when they've worked their first HHN, and they love it. So it's like there's kind of like an attachment to like the Monsters thing, and like we just really loved what Monsters was doing this year, and we're super stoked to see what it's going to do for the park and how they're going to expand upon everything. Just give me Invisible Man, please. We love Invisible Man so much.
I know, right? It's so cool. I just, and if they do some expansion, I mean, he may be in the main ride because it's supposed to be like Monsters Unleashed or whatever it's called. It's gonna have like every.
We call it Monsters Unsure.
Monsters Unsure
because there was like Monsters Unchained, Monsters Unleashed, Monsters Unmasked, and now Monsters Unsure.
Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Different IP.
Yeah, right.
But I just think it's such a cool IP that it's about time that. I mean, it's about time. I mean, it's so classic.
Universal's been trying to do something with the whole monsters thing for ages.
Yeah.
It didn't work like 10 years ago when they were trying to do it with the movies, and now they're kind of seeing it works a little bit in the theme parks.
Hi, I'm Tom Cruise. Welcome to the Mummy Ride.
Oh God, I forget that movie exists.
I know everybody does.
Oh God,
that's such a good potential. Like Russell Crowe being Dr. Jekyll. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
it would have been so good. But oh well, whatever. No, but yeah, you're right. Epic Universes. I'm something really stoked on that opening up soon. And Hyperia. We mentioned that's such a cool looking thing. And man, what a time! What a time to be excited about places which I'll probably never go to for years, but but it'll still be cool.
Yeah, Top Thrill 2.
Oh yeah, I'm. It's not that I'm not excited for Top Thrill 2. I'm just not like, oh my gosh, hooray.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna want the hydraulic launch back, but I still think it'll be pretty exciting. I think the prospect of floating up into the air for that long is so high. And
yeah. Because tangent, but you've ridden Superman: The Escape from Krypton backwards.
Yeah,
and it's such a cool.
It's great.
It's a cool effect to see.
Yeah.
As you're going backwards and you see the ground going away from you.
It's one of my favorite parts of Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can do that on Pantheon and Two Tots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think the 420 foot tall spike will be pretty.
If you reach that height, you'll get close. But the other thing, I don't know how I would convince everyone is with like swing launches. I know some people are fans of it, especially on Pantheon. I loved the swing launch on Pantheon.
It works.
For others, I do agree. Like I don't really care for the swing launch on Icebreaker too much. For some people, I know it makes them feel very nauseous going through those parts.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to be. It could be a problem for people that go on Top Thrill 2, but at the end of the day, I guess you have to just be kind of okay with the fact that like the launch is never going to be like, it's not going to be the same. Like that, like if it's going to be like what we saw in like the proof of concept videos, like that first launch is just going to be kind of like a mock launch, and you're just going to kind of go up a little bit, and then you. But hey, you can get a taste of what it used to be if you go drive to Jersey. I guess,
Exactly.
At least that one can still call itself the tallest and fastest in the United States.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful that it's not being torn down, because that was another alternative.
That part needs Top Thrill Dragster. That's just it. That's like it's so iconic for that part.
And another thing is it really gives that opportunity to Zamperla to shine. I really, I've got high hopes for them. I don't want them to fail. I know some people kind of want them to fail, which is strange.
Why?
It's like, why would you want them to fail?
Do they hate the Thunderbolts that bad?
I don't know. I think that just because they're like, no, our precious Intamin, and to an extent I understand that, but it's just like, did you want the ride to be scrapped, or what?
It's kind of where it was going to end up. The thing had so many issues outside of what the obvious major one that happened, which was super tragic. But
right,
the same one for like Accelerator too. There's just been always those coasters have a lot of. They're old. They're showing their age. They have a lot of issues.
Yeah, it's like what we talked about earlier too. It's Intamin. They are willing to try to push something out there and work the bugs out later.
If you're lucky. From what I've heard from some people in the industry, they kind of just go, "Oh, you can figure it out."
Yeah. We love you, Intamin.
But I guess if you're Universal or Disney, they'll be like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yes. Yeah,
or if you have Saudi oil money, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah."
Dude, that is an exciting thing.
That's another one that's like, what?
There's no way. I was in a good high 80s range of doubt, and now that they're building it, I'm like, no way.
Yeah, and it's going to look exactly like someone sat down on Planet Coaster and was just like,
Yeah.
hit autocomplete.
Yeah.
Just let it do its thing.
And that lift up the mountain will have no supports, just like it showed in the. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like, wow.
I
That
know.
one just freaks me out. I don't know if I'll ever be able to ride it in my lifetime, but
Yeah, I mean Saudi Arabia, but
I had a running theory if that park never opened up, but they finished Falcon's flight before it opens up, that they're just gonna have like people offer the ability for people to like shuttle out to Falcon's flight.
Yeah.
On that plot of land, and just be like, you could ride the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster,
Right.
for a price.
Yeah.
You have to shuttle out here because I think it's near like Riyadh or whatever that place.
Who
is.
knows where it's like in the middle of nowhere.
It's not too far from a major city out there.
Yeah.
But it's like
we were going to have a race course, but
Yeah.
instead we got this roller coaster. You still want to ride it?
Yeah, this one roller coaster. I mean, we spent all this money on it. We couldn't really get the rest of the park open or the rest of the resort, but you could still ride the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster if you want to.
And it'll be like, sorry, we can't operate unless we get a full train.
Yeah,
so you're just gonna have to wait.
Like a few days until we can get the
Shout out to Mount Olympus for that one.
Yeah,
But
favorite.
yeah, no, but it is. You're right. It just wow, what a time. I mean, Falcons flag. I mean, I guess they're going to announce it on APA. And like, if you're watching this after the APA announcement, get in the comments, let us know. But yeah, it's so crazy that that's happening, and like Epic Universe is happening, and the merger is happening. And the joke that I make is like, with this merger, I mean, going back to that is like, well, at least Six Flags now gets a Giga, and Cedar Point now gets a Batman. Yeah. I mean, instantly now Six Flags does have a Giga now.
That's true. Yeah,
They've got multiple.
We have multiple Gigas now,
and now Cedar Point finally has a Batman.
Yeah,
and a Goliath.
Do you ever think about like I mean, I know everyone's like jumping on like the meme train for this for all the like additions, but like I have had some fun basically kind of jokingly renaming some of their parks. I mean I've been calling Magic Mountain Cedar Flags Magic Point.
Yeah.
And Six Flags over Kings and stuff like that, and just been trying to go through the combinations. It's it's silly.
They're gonna come out and they're just gonna say, we've decided to rename all parks Geauga Lake.
Oh my god. That's my favorite meme. It's like
oh, the Vince McMahon.
Yeah. No, it's just like Geauga Lake up in heaven, and it's just that guy just like
I thought you were talking about the ones like Vince McMahon, he's just
yeah. That's pretty good too.
That's pretty good.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Here's Seas. And they should make one with like SeaWorld kind of going.
Yeah.
Hey, we were gonna do that.
Yeah, here we were trying.
Yeah. Remember how we all thought that was funny a few years ago? Like, Six Flags puts in an offer to buy Seas Entertainment. We're like,
they were just trying to, as the cool kids would say, bump their stock price up, I guess. I don't know what the whole point of that was really, but
we clearly, if you've been watching since the beginning of the show, we don't understand how strategic mergers work.
I had to spend some time after this listening to some people who have more experience than I ever will in like financial analysis to kind of get to understand like the details of the press release a little bit more, because I'm like, okay, what does this really mean? Like, I don't want to sit here and have like a knee-jerk reaction and be like, oh no, they're all gonna turn into Six Flags parks, they're all gonna fall apart. Like, no, like I wanted to have some rationale for it. And I mean, everything about it sounds like it's slightly inevitable and a net positive.
Yeah, I think that, in reality, I think that they're like, listen, in order to have any sort of competition between Disney and Universal right now, we got to do something.
Yeah,
Herschen's like, we don't care.
Yeah, they're
fine.
We
win awards. We're all right.
Yeah, we got Dolly Parton on our side.
Exactly.
She may as well be the mayor of Tennessee.
National treasure.
Yeah.
But there's during this whole thing, I'm just like, so is Montezuma's Revenge gonna open?
Oh my god.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Like, what's going on over there?
Sounds grim, man.
Oh yeah, what have you heard?
Sounds grim. I mean, the
What
rumors,
have you
the
heard?
rumors that I have been hearing about it, it's like it's the supplier and manufacturer that was going to basically do this project has backed out. This is all stuff I read on Screen Scrape, so
Yeah.
I'm just repeating rumors at this point. But I mean, the other rumor was that Comeback was going to be doing the thing, and Comeback's kind of got a bit of a pretty terrible reputation. Sorry if you're watching. But
Hey, look right into camera.
Yeah. So it just seems like there's a lot up in the air about it right now, and which is really, I mean, my personal feeling is just so tragic because it's like that was like one of my favorite rides in the park, and it was such a unique old attraction,
right?
And like you would think that just slapping some LSMs on this thing and retracking it would be good and done and easy.
Well,
It's
not
easy.
top to
Well, not
true.
easy, but I mean, it's a tried and true thing that's happened over and over and over again. Like, why would it be hard? But
yeah, I mean, if Top Thrill 2, like I said, if they're already doing it, what's going on?
if they finish Top Thrill True before,
They will.
oh my god, before Montezuma.
How long has Montezuma's been sitting down? Like 2 years now?
yeah, almost.
I mean, they're almost vertical with freaking Top Thrill 2.
Oh my god, the finish.
By the way, Top Thrill 2.
The name.
And the logo, it's like Top 2 Thrill 2.
Yeah, it's like Dead Don't Open Inside.
Yeah, well, I'm more like it's like what, R2D2, like Top 2 Deal 2. No.
Yeah, the name could have used a little bit more creativity.
Yeah.
The logo's not bad.
Topper thriller
Top Thrill.
thriller top thriller twisted top steel
Twisted Top. Stop. Oh my god. Twisted Top.
twisted steel iron steel
Wicked Top.
dragster.
Wicked Top coaster. I'm all for it.
Family show.
Oh,
Just kidding.
You can edit that one out if you need to.
Made me cough. No, but it is true. It's sad that because that was such a beloved ride and such an interesting technology. And I mean, I think it was Drew who brought up the good point that you've got in the same park Zamperla with a flywheel launch with Pony Express.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If Zamperla's already redoing things, hello.
Yeah, that would logically be your next point of contact.
Maybe they're seeing how it's go. Maybe they're seeing how Top Thrill 2 goes because maybe these rumors are true. Maybe something did actually happen with whoever was going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Originally, and they're just
trying to wait it out and see who's the best one to bite for it. Because
Yeah.
I would assume that if whatever manufacturer that did have a deal with was probably giving them the deal of the century. Now we're now we're kind of moving on to a new era though. Where we're not going to see the effects of the merger until next year, but which could mean we wouldn't see anything about Montezuma until next year when they want to realize where they want to invest all their money. But
That's true.
It did kind of come in the heels of a time where like it's like a lot of their capex have to come into like just upkeeping that park. I mean, you've had Accelerator, chilling down for a lot of the time, and they've been constantly having to do repairs on everything else in the park.
Well, Fiesta Village though they've really knocked out of the park, so it's like they go and do something like that, and you go. So I mean, I know they're two different divisions, but it's like, come on, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I still have hope. I guess if I really wanted to put on my investigative journal hat, I had a guest on the show, a guy by the name of Ethan, who was an Imagineer for a while, and then he is no longer working with Disney. At least I think, as of right now, Ethan, if you are, I'm sorry, but he had mentioned kind of clandestine that he had helped with the some of the Montezuma's Forbidden Fortress, whatever, designing.
Okay.
So the theme element kind of whatever show element. So
yeah.
I bet you he knows more than. I wonder if he has an NDA.
You can text him if he's.
I'm gonna text him.
If he's a
he lives up here. He lives near me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I should get you back on the show.
Yeah, get him in here. He probably knows the truth. How do we pry it out of him?
Yeah, well, he's the guy that designed the Duffy and Friends characters that are at Disneyland, like Tokyo and stuff like that, like Duffy and like Luna Bell. And,
Yeah.
He designed those.
Okay.
He was the guy that during the animatronics, like in like I don't know, let's just say like the Monsters Inc. ride or whatever, like sits down and animates the auto animatronics.
Okay.
Was his job.
Codes that in and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, no, like physically animated it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because like that's how they did it. They would watch it. They'd get the dialogue, and then he would kind of almost like puppeteer. Like he was like using joysticks or whatever and animating.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I was like, yeah, he just lives like down the street. I'm like, that's crazy, man.
That's so cool.
But
So he has all the secrets.
no, he has
We
all
need
this.
we need to get him on the show, and we need to tie him up, and he's not going to leave until he tells us.
Until he fixes Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah, on the show.
Live on the show. We're going to live stream.
The Monty Manifesto.
That's right. The new Analog Thrills Roundtable, the Analog Round Enthusiast Thrills channel.
Enthusiast Analog Table.
Enthusiast Analog.
Well, the table is made out of wood.
Oh, that's right. We are enthusiasts of analog tables. Yeah. We don't like digital tables.
This isn't IKEA, is it?
No.
You said you got it on Craigslist, right?
I did. And you can verify, people, that this is a legit round table.
I'm becoming a round table enthusiast.
There you go. Yeah, like listen, I wanted to be legit to the show name, so I went and bought a round table for this show. I really need to get like a behind the scenes camera, like, so you guys can see. Maybe I'll post a picture. I'm going to post a picture on, well, here's the, you ready? Here's the magic of post-production. Cliff, I want you to go like this. Right there.
Okay.
Remind myself to insert photo of studio in post. But, yeah, do you have any fun trips coming up?
Oh, I've just been talking about some with some friends right now. I go to Florida a lot.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, those parks are kind of my happy place. So I get out there as often as I can.
Are you going to hit them all up or just a couple?
I still need, I always go to Universal. I still need to go to Disney. I've been to all the other parks except for with the exception of Legoland too. I think there's probably some smaller parks. I didn't get to do Uncle Bernie's before it closed.
Oh, right. That's Uncle Bernie's.
But yeah. I'm always back and forth between here and Orlando because flights are usually pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I have plenty of places to stay out there for freebie and. But in terms of like, oh my God, like big extravaganza tour stuff, I've been talking about another Midwest loop because I do want to get back out to Cedar Point. I haven't been there since 2021. If you may remember, I was for a while out there a lot. It's been a lot since I've been there. So love to get out there. Fort Topsail too. I'm trying to kind of narrow down some regions that I haven't been to. So I'm thinking maybe like the Northeast a bit.
Oh, right.
Six Flags New England, Lake Compounds, maybe getting over to like upstate New York area, and maybe getting into like Toronto and
Canopy.
Yeah. I think Dutch Waterland somewhere in there too.
Yeah. There's such a big concentration in that area too. There's plenty to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are kind of like the only regions I really have yet to really conquer.
Same.
I still need to kind of get the Jersey and New York stuff out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Again, those would have been tackled, but I had to leave my wallet at a Cubby and Knott's Berry Farm.
If you want to know more about that story, you can go check out. No, you can't because you did a lot on stories.
I do everything on everything.
Are they pinned? Or?
Everything is ephemeral on my world. I don't pin anything. I should probably get in that habit. The story is that the night of my flight, I went to go to Knott's Berry Farm to pick up one of the people we were traveling with, and he was like, "Hey, let's go on a coaster." I'm not going to name which coaster, but let's go on a coaster. And then I went on a coaster, and I put my wallet in the loose articles bin, and when I came back, that wallet was gone. And you are going to have a very hard time traveling when you don't have license and credit cards. And I was so foolish and put my passport card in there. So I did a bit of a big dumb.
Well, but the thing is that you didn't though, because what it was is like, you're like, I don't want to have my important information fall out of my pocket.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
it should have gone into a locker. It's just yeah.
Okay.
It's also
Yeah.
I can't predict that like if someone's gonna you know. Yeah. You know.
Well, with Knott's Berry Farm, maybe you can.
Well, this is the second time I've had personal items stolen from me.
That's
at Knott's
right.
Berry Farm.
That's right.
Yeah.
The parking lot, you had a break in, right?
Yeah. Someone broke into my car and stole all of my analog gear. That was how I started 2020
And that's how we're ending the show is on a downer. No,
no. We got to do something.
Positivity. So yeah, I mean, needless to say, it just put a little pause on things. That's the way we look at it. Just put some pause on something.
I learned how to think on my toes when it comes to traveling.
Yeah,
because I was able to take on that trip for a second there. I was like, I don't think I can do it, and then I was able to kind of find out some alternative ways to make it all happen. So I mean, I had to sacrifice some parts of the region, but I still got to go to like King's Dominion and ride I-305.
Nice.
And
that's the only ride that scares me.
Oh, it scared me so much when I first saw it. It's intimidating.
Yeah,
You walk up to it and you're like, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger, and I don't know how my body is going to handle this.
Yeah,
I don't like blacking out.
Yeah,
You don't like if you blacked out.
dude, I can't ride coasters as much as I used to anymore. I'm getting like vertigo now. Oof. And so it's like I grayed out on Big Thunder Railroad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm like, you can see why I'm so scared of like I-305. I'm like, please, because the thing is, I kind of promised Airtime Mike, that if I ever went out there, I'd ride it with him.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, and I'll make fun of you the entire time if you pass out." He's like, "I'm gonna like flick your nose and all this stuff." I'm like, "Oh." No.
I don't mind graying out so much.
Yeah.
I-305 gets you if you're not clenching for it.
Sure.
You will start to get to that point where you're like,
yeah. Well,
this
gonna go to bed now.
This feels nice.
Yeah, night the
Why
ride.
do I feel so euphoric.
Yeah.
Like you start to get to that point.
Like how Goliath used to feel before it stopped on the mid-course.
Completely on the yeah. And the only time I've only blacked out twice in my life on a coaster, and once was on Tatsu's Pretzel Loop, and once was on Goliath's Helix.
Yeah.
While it was still stopping on the mid course, so.
Well, it was probably 125 that day, and you had no water.
It was
the drinking fountains weren't working.
Yeah, and both times I've ever blacked out, it's like it's not great. I come back and I'm like, I think I need to just sit down for the rest of the day.
Yeah, see, that's what happens with me when I gray out. When I gray out, the gray out feeling doesn't go away.
Oh, really?
And it's all for the rest of the day.
Ooh, okay.
And it's like the world starts to and I'm like
yeah.
And I start to sweat. It's weird. I start to sweat so much that it looks like I jumped into a pool. Ooh. It's weird. So But anyway, that's why I-305 scares me. I'm not scared of the ride. I'm scared of
like the feeling
passing out.
You just watch a few videos of like how people try to Air Force pilots.
Yeah, no, I do that. I use that trick. It's called the 0G under the hook maneuver.
The hook maneuver, yeah.
Hook maneuver.
I just know that if you don't do it right, you go into G-lock.
Yeah, I
don't want to go into G-lock.
I'm so scared of G-lock.
Yeah, but I did it on I-305 a few times and it worked perfectly.
Yeah,
there was a couple times where I'm like, hey, this is nice. Like I know what's happening right now, and then I just like tensed all those muscles up, and I was like, oh, I'm back to it. But it's like the turn is like very gradual, and you have time to kind of brace for it.
Yeah,
there is one turn where I would almost immediately gray out because you hit it so fast, and then I have to like brace for it.
It's one of the S turns, or
it's after the second S turn where you go in and you bank really hard, and you're coming back up around towards that trimmed airtime hill. Like for some reason that one just hit so much harder. Like the moment I got into it, I was like, and then like
there's only one other coaster that scares me more than that one, and that's what's it called? What is it? What's it called? It's a Drop of Doom. The one that's in South Africa.
Oh, Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror.
Yeah, with like that split second of like 7 G's or 6 point whatever G's. Yeah. It's never open out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not afraid of coasters. I'm just afraid of my vertigo. That's what I'm afraid of, because it's like it's so bad. Like it lasts so long.
Is there something
ruins a day?
Is there something you can take for it?
Yeah. I can take I've started recently taking this medicine, and I'm not sponsored by this medicine, but it's called Bonin or Bonine. I don't know how to pronounce it. Bonine. It's better than Dramamine in my opinion, because Dramamine makes me feel weird. Even if I get the non-drowsy kind, I start feeling just very odd when I'm on Dramamine.
Yeah.
But Bonin or Bonine or however it's pronounced, I feel good, but it doesn't last very long. So I have to remember to take it maybe like 2 times, maybe 3 times during my trip.
Okay.
So it's manageable, but still I can't push the limit.
Yeah.
So like, for example, my days of marathoning coasters is over.
Oh man.
Like, I could not ride Revolution however many times.
62 times.
62
You
times.
don't want to ride Revolution
No.
62 times.
I can't marathon coasters anymore. In fact, I can't. I need time between coasters too. Like I was with Alan from Almighty Coasters, and we rode Wonder Woman, and then right after Wonder Woman went walked on to Batman, and then right after that went over to Twisted Colossus, and I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't.
Enough's enough. Yeah.
I have to sit down. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Have you ever been on Mako?
No.
Okay.
I've never been to SeaWorld Orlando.
So, because my partner has a very, very similar thing where he's not really into like marathoning so much, and he has to kind of like take breaks after a while.
Right.
But like, I get the sense that when we were on Mako together, he was like, "Whoa, I think I might be able to like." And we rode it like 4 or 5 times back to back.
Oh wow.
No problem at all. And it's because it's just such a nice.
It's graceful.
Great.
Yeah.
You're just on a cloud the whole ride.
Well, like I think it mostly happens with inversions and positive G-forces. So like
which Mako hardly has any.
Yeah.
I mean, it has some positive G-force, but it's not enough to
like Tatsu.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I was able to ride Superman Ultimate Flight from Six Flags Great. I don't know if it's called Ultimate Flight, but the Superman flying coaster that's at Six Flags Great America in Gurney.
Yeah.
The smaller models. I was able to ride that and come off it with no problem. I think it's because it's smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, once you're done with that pretzel loop, you kind of just
because it happens right after. That's the pretzel loop. The pretzel loop happens first.
Yeah.
On those models.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe has something to do with it. I don't know. But like, airtime machines, like Orion at like Kings Island, no problem.
Yeah.
What else?
Maybe Diamondback.
Yeah, Diamondback. I had no problem with those. Like those don't get to me. Although if it's a wooden coaster, the rattleness will get to me, but it doesn't get me vertigo. It just kind of gets me to where anybody can get a headache.
Yeah.
But
I bring up Mako specifically because it typically never has more than like a 5-minute wait.
Really?
At some points of the day, and like you can just keep going on it over and over.
Yeah, I would like to ride Mako.
Like I usually when I go to SeaWorld Orlando, I like that's like my go-to thing. It's just I'm just gonna sit around at Mako for like 2 hours and just keep riding it.
I've only ever been on one B&M hyper, and that's Diamondback. I mean, if you want to count Orion, but I don't. Whoa! Wait a second. Hey, editing ambassador here. I actually have been on more than one B&M hyper. Forgot about Raging Bull. Sorry. Back to the show.
It's not a hyper. I don't know. It's something.
Listen, I'm on Team Orion. I think Orion's freaking awesome. I love that ride.
I need to ride it again.
I loved it.
I was such a hater.
Were you?
Well, because I rode it when it was like really cold and windy. It wasn't really like. I don't know. It was probably just like a recency thing where I was like, ew, it's not that great. Why they could have done better. But like, I don't know. Like it was so fun. I also, it's also a coaster. I lost this phone.
Aha!
This phone fell out of my unzipped pocket. Another silly mistake I made. Because it was so cold and like it just rained like the night before and like there was just like muddy everywhere. Like it landed in the mud and then just like came out of the mud, just caked in mud, and then went back to guest services where we tracked it, and it was fine. And it's still I had the sticker. It's like I used to have on the back of this a sticker that had like the found at Orion. Oopsie, Apple logo. I don't know if that's going to get you demonetized, but
hey, we open a partnership with Apple if they'd like to sponsor the show. We are available for OtterBox and available for Apple as sponsors. We are not sponsored by either, but we're open to it.
But yeah, Orion, I just need to give it a second chance to. I know it does run faster, and people I did ride it with were like, it's like excruciatingly slow that day. It was like the last operating day of 2021, and like that same day. Like Cedar Point got like snowed out.
Well, that's when I rode it. Was in 2020. I rode it in October.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so maybe you're getting into that. I was like October 31st. No, it wasn't Halloween. It was November 1st. They had one more operating day after Halloween.
It was close for Halloween when we were there.
Yeah. It was so windy and cold the day I went to ride it. Like it was like they had shut down like most of the other coasters. They shut down Orion early because it was so windy.
Well, that'll ruin a ride. I think what it was is that I went in, had only having ridden Arrow and Morgan hypers, and then maybe, and so I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. This was my first. And I rode Orion before I rode Diamondback, so I was like, okay. Well, I should say Gigas. I'd only ever ridden Millennium Force, and that's all I had to compare it to.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with. I think the first drop is still in my top 5 first drops.
It's a great first drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's long and it's the extra banking on it or extra like
pitches in a little bit more.
On it. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Doesn't bank going down.
Hey, well, it was made by Mach.
Yeah. The extra pitch on it was nice.
Yeah. But, I just came off it going, hey, that was actually a lot of fun. To me, it'll always be like Pluto. If we're going to go space theme, Orion and Pluto. Pluto will always be a planet. I don't care what scientists say. So
I grew up with Pluto, and I like
exactly.
I like Pluto the dog. So I'm always
Orion's a giga, Pluto's a planet.
Yeah,
come at me.
Yeah, man, get yourself on Fury. You can.
I know. I would like to. I would have loved to ride. I would have liked to got the crack credit. I think that would have been bragging rights for the Fury 325 crack credit.
I might have it.
You might?
I might have it because it cracked. The crack showed up like 3 or 4 days after we were there.
Yeah.
And there was. I mean, I was trying to look because it was during CoasterCon, so like a million people were taking pictures of Fury 325, and like I was trying to look through other people's photos and be like, can you notice?
Yeah. Is that a very very typical photo op spot?
Oh yeah, in that area.
Okay.
Because that's like right where it starts to approach going over the entry gate. Because Fury just wraps itself all around.
Yeah.
All
over the Carolinas.
Like the exit and the exit and the entrance of the park. I didn't really notice anything when I was looking through people's photos. I was like really into it, and then it was a week later when that video surfaced when it was like doing the whole thing, and I made jokes that we did it. All us acers
probably did.
We did it. We're too big. We ate too much at the buffet. We caused it to crack. A few acers cracked up with that and thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
But
no, I do want to write that. I have not ridden very many East Coast coasters because I was really small when I was at Hershey, and then I've only ever been to King's Dominion, and that was in 2001. So luckily I was able to get... Was that Paramount Days still? It may have been, but I did get Hypersonic XLC and Volcano.
Whoa! Hypersonic? What was that like?
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. And that was kind of even before... I think it was right when I was just becoming a coaster enthusiast. So I remember being scared of it. It was like very smooth, though. It was very, very smooth.
It had rubber wheels.
I know. I know. It was crazy. And it was so long. I still think to this day this is the longest I've ever waited for a ride.
I bet. Did it go down a lot, do you think? Or
no, it's just one train.
Okay.
It's just one train. It was like I think it was like opening month.
Yeah.
It may have been opening week. I don't remember, but I'd have to go back and look at my memories. But yeah, we waited so long. It's only like 5 hours or something.
What?
But it's only one train.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah.
And it holds like, I don't even remember how many passengers it held, maybe 12.
Yeah. It wasn't that many.
No.
Yeah.
And so it was long. But it was still kind of cool. But that's King's Dominion was the only East Coast park I ever went to, and I don't even think I got all the credits. I think I remember there was like a stand-up one. I can't remember what it was called. It was like a Togo.
Oh! Not King Cobra, or not Shockwave. I think it was one of those.
Might have been Shockwave.
Yeah.
But I remember writing that one, and then I remember writing Rebel Yell. I think. But the standouts were Volcano, which was really great, and then Hypersonic XLC, but it was like super busy. Oh, Flight of Fear! I remember writing Flight of Fear.
Flight of Fear is cool.
I think, and actually, if I really think back, Flight of Fear might have been my very first launch coaster ever. Maybe I may have written Montezuma's Revenge before that, but I'm not from California. I don't remember. I'm not a great Thusie.
Oh no, that's it.
No, but yeah, I want to get back to the East Coast too. But yeah, like wait, I meant to ask you. You've been to Silver Dollar City, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going for the first time this Christmas.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Christmas is great to go to Silver Dollar City.
Yeah. So I'm excited. What kind of tips can you impart for a Silver Dollar City first timer?
You're gonna get lost.
That's what I've heard. It's kind of an odd layout.
Yeah, it is a little weird. But I like getting lost in that park. There's so many like cool, intricate little details.
There's decals
There's
everywhere.
Decals
so
everywhere.
Cool.
So many DC and Marvel details. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's like Christmas time. You get the night rides. You have to do Outlaw Run at night.
Yeah,
that is a absolute must. That is one of my. I've done many of the like the coveted night rides, and that is up there for me. It is amazing, and I mean, yeah, just take the. I mean, how many days are you doing?
We're gonna be there for. So we're flying into Northwest Arkansas to Bentonville.
I know where that's at.
Headquarter of Walmart.
Yeah,
and
that's why I know where that's at.
Just because it was cheaper to fly into there, and we're gonna rent a car. And so it's only gonna take like 3 or 4 hours to drive there. And then we're there for the entire week, and then coming back. So we fly in on Christmas Day. We get in really late, so we're gonna spend the night and wake up on the 26th, driving this will be on the 26th, and then we're coming back like on the 31st.
So you're gonna get 2 days in the park?
Maybe 2 days.
Okay, 2 days is good. Is a good amount of time to spend there.
Could be 3, but we'll see.
If you're going to forecast weather, you must get on Powder Keg. That thing always closes down in the rain.
Oh, okay.
And that's a great ride, and that's another really like marvelous night ride.
Yeah.
What other tips do I have that park, man? Oh,
just have fun. How's the parking? That's one thing no one's really talking about. How's the parking?
It's not bad. Depending on how busy it's going to be, you're going to take a little tram up to the park entrance. I found it to be pretty tolerable. I thought it was fine. And I've been to that park. Jeez. 5 times now, and I think out of the 5 times, maybe 2 of them were really busy days, and it's like on the busiest days, like you're gonna park out by Wildfire, and like the walk's not gonna be too bad.
Okay,
it's a pretty big park. Like it can accommodate a lot of people.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, do you think it'd be worth getting like premier parking or anything like that, or?
I mean, if you don't want to wait for a tram, but they keep them running pretty consistently, If you don't want to deal with a tram, by all means, Well,
because the best thing that we did when I went to Dollywood for the first time a few years ago was I just said, you know what, I don't know when we're going to be back here, so I'm just going to buy the premier parking just because I wanted to.
Makes sense for Dollywood because that parking lot is massive.
Yeah,
and Silver Dollar City's parking lot, at least from what I can observe, is not nearly as.
Okay.
Yeah, because like Dollywood, you're like going down that like ravine, and then it comes around the bend, and it goes like Dollywood's parking lot is
just around the river bend.
Yeah, it's out there, man. When I did CoasterCon, they gave us preferred parking, and I was like, God, it's like right there.
Yeah, that was one thing I was happy to purchase, because it's like, and I don't know if you get this way or not, but like for me, when I go to a park, especially if it's a park that I know I may not go back to, at least with my family, because obviously I have to bring my wife and my kid. No, that was phrased wrong. I'm grateful to bring my wife and my kid, but it's like I'm
telling them.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm paying for 3 tickets.
Yeah,
so it's like 3 of everything.
Right.
Parking and all that different stuff. But so then I just go, it's worth it to me to especially if we're there in July like we were. Let's get the premier parking.
Yeah.
Let's get skip the line, pass whatever it's called there, and just so that we can, at least experience it. Even though sometimes it's hard to swallow. You're like, wow, an extra $160. $170 a person.
Yeah.
But, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's like, well, I just spent money on a hotel and a rental car and all this different stuff. So, I mean, what's...
Eventually, it's just, in relative terms, it's just another drop in the bucket.
Hey, kids, we're going to have Albertson's chicken instead of instead of going out to eat. But, okay, cool. No, I appreciate those tips because, we're excited. We're getting like a cabin and,
Get the cinnamon bread.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Get the cinnamon bread for sure. Yeah, there's plenty. If you've been to Dollywood, you get a pretty good feel of all the other general things. To always spend some time with a place. You can knock out all the coasters and attractions pretty quickly, and it's just got a very nice vibe to the place. I think you'll really like it.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I like the whole vibe of that. The theme that what it is like. Old mining, old forest.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. That's something that I like. And did you? Speaking of, pardon me. Did you go to the cave?
It was closed. Every time I've been there, it's been closed. All the times I've been there have been kind of hovering around that COVID era. So
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So they closed those caves down, and I think they're open again. I don't know. I had a tentative plan to go out this year, but that may have fell through. But I every chance I can get. Oh God, Fire in the Hole.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be open yet, but I'm so excited for it.
Oh, the old Fire in the Hole.
It's closed.
No, wait, really?
Yeah,
I thought they were keeping it open until the end of the season or the end of the year.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Look it up.
Get in the comments.
Yeah, get in the comments. Yeah, if it's still open when you're there, you need to ride that. Oh my God, I love.
Is it the same as Fire Chaser Express? Not Fire Chaser. Blazing Fury.
I'm not going to tell you.
No, I've heard about that.
I love Fire in the Hole.
Yeah.
It is so up my alley because I love campy and kitschy and I love janky attractions, and there's just there's something about it. It's intense. There's something about it that is actually intense. That might sound crazy, but I think there's something about it. If you're not expecting it, it will catch you off guard and it will stick with you forever.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for that then because
great. I love it. So much.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited just because I'm excited to be in the hills and in the woods, and I know that sounds scary in and of itself, but that's not meant to be. But I think it's actually kind of cool. We'll touch on it for a little bit. The new Fire in the Hole from RMC. It's kind of cool to see that they're doing an indoor, possibly theming element, animatronic maybe stuff.
They have they have some big boots to fill in my mind.
Yeah. Some big fireman boots.
Yeah, some big fireman boots in my mind. You better do me. You better not do Fire in the Hole dirty.
Yeah. You can imagine the Hershon people are like, hey, look, we're gonna give you this opportunity, but we're not forgetting the launch lift hill at Dollywood, okay?
Yeah.
We're gonna hold that one over you for a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's sad. I guess, we kind of started out that joke at the beginning of the episode. I guess we can end with that joke. Feelings on Lightning Rod. I know you talked about writing it, and that's a fun one. How do you think that the new high-speed chain lift is going to work?
I'm all for it, honestly. I didn't really think that the launch lift hill in its current iteration was really something to write home about, to be honest. Yeah. I'm sure at the time when it opened up, it was really fantastic. And yeah. For just for how many problems it caused, I saw how problematic it was when I was there, and it was just
same.
Yeah, you could live without it. Honestly, it's kind of exhilarating, but it wasn't like a gut punch. It was just kind of okay, and it was felt slightly faster than Maverick's lift hill. Yeah. So in my humble opinion, and I am so fine with it as long as it keeps it running well. It's not gonna do harm.
It's just interesting that they decided to go with a chain lift when I guess it's maybe more affordable because it's okay, just replace the whole thing with. If it works on Maverick, just figure out a way to replace the whole lift hill.
Yeah, I didn't know how much a new motor would cost to replace because the whole story of they basically used brakes. Yeah. They kept overheating. Yeah. To put a whole new motor in, I was hearing it would cost so much more money, and they're not gonna. They've already. This thing's already a money pit as it is. They're ready to just get something that's just gonna keep it cheaper, and then last longer. I think too, because it's not just the motor; it's also just the structure. Yeah, wooden coasters weren't originally built to launch up a hill. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm just curious about the decision to also go with a chain lift rather than like a cable lift. So I've never. What's a coaster that has a high speed chain lift? I mean, maybe
besides
the Wonder Wheel.
Tornado over in Bakken.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that's intimate.
but that's not very tall though.
No, it's kind of built to kind of be like a launch. I'm trying to think of like a high speed chain lift. I guess you can consider like, some of the Gigas to have a higher speed chain lift, but I don't think you're going like 13 miles per hour, which is what they were proposed.
Yeah,
is supposed to be the speed. I also have speculations about like how if they're going to be able to run 2 trains that way, if they're going to be able to, because if there's like a block check, and there's a setup at the top of that chain lift, like how are you gonna? Does the thing just gonna just over? Because you need some speed to get over those 2 hills,
right? Over the dolly is what they call
it.
Yeah. Family show. Well, those who know. Come on.
Yeah.
National treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, I am curious why they wouldn't have gone with like a cable, but I don't know. Maybe just chain lift is more reliable. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I just wonder, like, high-speed chain lift. I don't know what is a high-speed chain lift. I can't think of a coaster with that same amount of real estate that has a high-speed. I mean, I know that there are some RMCs, like some of the Raptors are pretty fast.
I wonder if that's just a matter of perception because they're so tiny.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I just can't think of one. I mean,
Yeah, the only obvious one to me is just Bakken. Or sorry, Bakken. Tornado.
Yeah, Tornado.
Tornado.
But how tall is that lift hill? I know. How tall is the ceiling here?
How tall is the garage?
Yeah. I don't know. Not the garage. Come on. You mean the Six Flags California sign. That's where we are. We're underneath the Six Flags California sign. I'm going to say that until they freaking give it to me.
Oh, my gosh. That gift shop just still sits there.
I want it.
You want the gift shop?
I do.
What are you going to put in it?
This studio.
Oh, my God.
That's where we are.
Yeah. Okay.
You can see it now, right?
Can you do some post-production thing where like and then
oh yeah.
Here,
put it there. Yeah. For those who don't know, I mean, that's the running gag is that, there's a big sign off the freeway for Magic Mountain. It's called Six Flags California on the sign because it was, the first Six Flags out here. And they had to build a gift shop underneath it in order to get the sign. And it was an optional gift shop for a while. Very, very small square footage in there. I wouldn't even be able to guess. But
have you been inside of it?
No, I can look through the window. There is some. They have put some paper on the windows, but the paper, for whatever reason, has started to like peel. Inside,
I think it's storage now for like Wendy's or some.
No,
or no,
it's still Magic Mountain. Yeah,
okay. I am not ancient, but I am old enough to have been in that gift shop when it was.
Well, I've been in it too. I just don't remember it.
Yeah,
but I remember stopping and yeah. But when I look through the windows, I can see that obviously you need some TLC. But I think it would be perfect size for the Enthusiast Roundtable Studios.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit them up.
I have multiple times.
Really?
Yes.
This is the thing. This is the.
It's more of like no, we can't do it. It's a liability type of thing. I'm like, no, come
on. Six Flags.
I know.
Okay, maybe they'll have a change of heart when they're Cedar.
Let's go march. Let's march out in front of Magic Mountain. No, anyway, hey, why don't we let's shoot it back over to you. Can you give me where people can find you on los internets?
I am on Instagram at analog_thrills, all lowercase. That's it. In terms of, I do have like personal accounts, but
you can find my resume on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's it. And you might, if you follow other YouTubers, you might see me pop up every now and then. Yeah,
Cliff is always great collaborator, always great guest on everything that you do, backgrounds of videos and stuff like that. So I'm super grateful that you came up, made the drive to come into my little studio. Yeah. Help me with the lighting. Hey, look at this lighting. Whoa, hey, whoa, lighting. Yeah. Wait, no. Hold that thought. I can actually. Hold on. I don't know why. What's he doing? I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. What's he doing? Oh my God, where's my app at? There it
is right there. Please tell me you're still connected. Please tell me you're still connected. Oh my gosh, it's not connected. Oh my gosh, this is not gonna be worth it.
He probably has. He's talking about. He's got this funny little light over here
Oh yeah, there we go.
that he's got connected with his. Oh, look at that. He's going different colors, folks.
Oh yeah.
He's purple.
Cop car.
How light? Look how nice that looks. Oh my
the
gosh.
police are here.
I know, right?
It's too late.
We heard you were in that gift shop. What you doing over there? But yeah, eventually, look, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity. Look at this camera. Listen to my voice while you look at, watch Cliff. Some beautiful lighting on the background there. This is what the studio could look like 24/7. And if you'd like to help, check out the link below. I've actually started a PayPal for this actual show. I hate to peddle, I really do. But like I've said before, I'm actually not going to create a Patreon for the very reason of a lot of channels that I like to watch have exclusive content on their Patreons. And it makes me sad because I don't have money to spend on every Patreon that I'd like to. And that doesn't mean I don't want to support the channels that I like, but I want to give all my content out to everybody for free. I don't want anybody to have to pay for any sort of extra content or anything like that. And that's not to diss, again, please, I'm not dissing anybody who does. They're hustling and they're doing better than me. But because I would like to eventually upgrade my equipment, get some nice lighting and things like that. And if you'd like to help out and support the show, I do have a PayPal link down there, and I will be 100% open and honest and accountable to every single cent that I receive and show with receipts. Things do absolutely go to the channel. So I would appreciate that love. And again, I want to thank Cliff from Analog Filth. From Analog Filth.
Yes.
Analog Filth is the name of a
Daffy Duck.
it's the name of a city. Analog Thrills for driving all the way up, and always a cool friend and always a great hang. Yeah. And if you see him at a theme park, hit him up, give him a high five. I think he's got a high five in his back pocket that he'd be happy to provide upon request.
If you ever are at Magic Mountain and you see somebody wearing a Green Lantern First Flight shirt, it's probably me.
Yeah.
And I will gladly accept a high five or maybe even a hug. I don't know. Depends.
Depends on the day. Well, it depends on how you ask. That's important.
Yes.
Because we here at the Enthusiast Roundtable always believe in asking for consent.
Yeah.
It's like, let's take a very strange turn. No, but again, thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody, thanks for coming up. And until next time, this has been the Ambassador on behalf of Cliff, Analog Thrills, saying, everybody ride together. Let's go.
My number one coaster is Hurricane at Fun Spot Atlanta.
And